Is this thing on? Knotted up in my wires. There we go. Good morning, YouTube. I am Flightsimguy, and I'm in... Oh my dear God. This thing is doing it again. I'm in San Francisco, California with my Captain Sim Boeing 757, and today I am going to Dallas-Fort Worth. Got the GSX guys doing their thing, and last night I did a flight with the Quality Wings 757, and I must say I was pleasantly surprised. It's not as detailed as the Captain Sim 757, but overall, bang for the buck, how much money you get for your, how much product you get for your money, Quality Wings is definitely a better deal. But before I get into that, let's go ahead and get this bird started up. What I'm going to do is, I've been slacking off on my YouTube channel, so I need to get some more content. So I'm going to go ahead and cut a new track, and I'm going to edit that track into its own little video called Cold & Dark Startup for the Boeing 757. Cold & Dark Startup of the Captain Sim Boeing 757. Alright, so first thing you want to do, make sure your parking brake is set. Next, Shift 2 brings up this menu, which allows you to instant 2D access to the other panels. What we want to do is go to the overhead, and first thing we need to do is turn on the battery master. Next thing we need to do is get the APU going. So fuel pumps are on. Hit start, and that gets the APU running. Once you have juice to the APU, and it should say run when it's done. Okay, APU is running. Next thing we got to do is go through our flows. Now, the first thing we want to do is align our INS. So let's bring up the CDU and go to Index, Position Initialization. We are at KSFO. And we're at gate Delta 4. You don't need to enter the gate. By entering the gate, that just gives you more detailed or more specific GPS coordinate. The gate is optional. Anyhow, the point is, you get your GPS position here, click it, and then you enter it here. And then you can go ahead and set your INS gyros to align. Then you can hide the CDU, and then you go through your flows. So all this is good. Turn these on, yaw dampers. You want your hydraulic pump from engines left and right on. The electrical ones, leave those turned on. We'll turn these on once the jet engines have started. These are the annunciator panel lights. They're still open, or they're still on because we have doors open, because we got the GSX guys outside doing their thing. Battery is on. Standby power is auto. Bus tie left and right are on auto. APU generator is on. Utility buses are on. Your engine generators are on. They're set to on even though they're off because the engine isn't running. APU is on. Cockpit voice recorder, you don't need to test this. It's totally useless. But then up here, arm your emergency lights. Passenger oxygen, don't touch that. That lowers oxygen masks. Window heat, turn these on. Ram air turbine, if there's ever hydraulic failure on the aircraft while you're flying, you lower this, and it's basically a windmill that pops out below the aircraft, and that provides emergency hydraulic power to the aircraft. Or I'm not sure, it could be a generator, I don't recall, but the point is it's a backup system. Engine start, leave those to both. Leave these at auto. Fuel pumps, go ahead and turn on all of them for now. Center pumps, I can leave those off. We're good to go on fuel. Wiper is necessary. Anti-ice is not necessary where we are. And here, you can go ahead and run your message. This is your announcement. And in this case, we want to play message 8, which is the top row, third from left.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. From the flight deck, it's the captain. Very warm welcome on board this Boeing 777. we're just about ready to push back from stand now and start all engines. I would ask that you pay full attention please to the cabin crew's safety briefing that you'll be shown fairly shortly. In the meantime, make yourselves as comfortable as possible and enjoy the takeoff. Thank you.
Next, fasten seatbelt, no smoking. This is the pressurization panel. Leave that the way it is. Equipment cooling. Sleep, who gives a rat's ass about that? Trim air, turn that on. Flight deck, forward cabin, aft cabin. This just controls the air conditioning. Leave it at 23, that's fine. Packs, leave it auto. And you want to turn on the isolation and the APU. Make sure these are on and these are on. Point is, these lines are there. You want to make sure those lines are there. Okay? And that's it for the overhead panel. Next, go ahead and get your ATIS briefing. Let's make sure that works. See if it works. Not hearing anything. That's because the avionics master, there is no avionics master switch on the Captain Sim 757 or any 757 for that matter. However, your radios won't work unless the avionics master is turned on in the simulator. So what you got to do is, I have a switch mapped to avionics master, so once I put this on, it should work. There it goes.
ILS, runway 19er, left and visual, runway 19er, right in use, landing and departing, runway 19er, left and runway 19er, right. VFR aircraft, state direction of flight. All aircraft read back hold short instructions. Advise controller on initial contact, you have Yankee.
So, runway 19er is our departure, and altimeter is 29er88. So we can go ahead and set those up. 29er88. It does work. Runway 190, or runway 19, so our heading needs to be 190. Flight director is on. Our initial speed is going to be 250, and I'm just going to go ahead and punch in our cruising altitude, which is flight level 350. Alright, there we go, 350. So autopilot will turn that on at the right time. Continuing with our flows, we want to make sure we select takeoff. I'm not going to derate the engines, not necessary. Reject the takeoff with the auto brakes, make sure that is set. Continuing with the flows, you want to make sure your transponder is set to standby and your weather radar is on and set to standby. Alright, next thing you need to do is configure your flight management computer. For this, I'm going to go ahead and cut a separate track. So I'm going to bring this up, cut a new track. Now for the flight management computer, I already have another video on my YouTube channel that talks about this. So I'm just going to go ahead and skip this part and carry on with the rest of the startup. Okay, we can go ahead and close the CDU. And at this point, I want to say we are ready for startup. Aircraft doors. Let's go ahead and close our aircraft doors. Our GSX guys are still there. Let's go ahead and button them up. All those doors are closed. There we go. Panel lights. We forgot about the lights. So for the lights, we need to go ahead and turn on our position lights. Turn on the logo lights. Play a message. 1. Bottom row, first left.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome on board this Boeing 777. May we remind you that your hand luggage should be placed in the overhead compartments, and in the interests of safety, heavy bags or bottles must be placed.
Note V-speeds. We have not noted the V-speeds. There we go. We're done. I just didn't note them. Alright, so we have V1, 130, 133 for VR, and V2 is 137. Set EFIS range to 20 miles. Route confirm. We've already done that. Let's go ahead and set this up. This needs to be on map, and 40 is good. Cockpit lights as needed. Flight director is on. Clock set. Throttle is closed, and we are ready for engine start and pushback. So next thing we need to do, let's go ahead and get our runway assignment.
San Francisco ground, US Air 757. Request taxi for south departure with Alpha. US Air 757, taxi to and hold short of runway 19er provided using taxiway Alpha Echo. Contact tower on 120.5 when ready.
Runway 19er right. Trim needs to be set to 3.3. That's about right. And now we're ready for pushback. Prepare for pushback and departure. 5. We want straight pushback. Manual stop. No. Let's see what this does on the outside. Let's go ahead and check our flight controls.
Departure check completed. Flight aspect inserted. Remain parking brakes. Commencing push. All engines clear. Start that wheel.
Alright, we can go ahead and start our engines. All we need to do is go to the overhead panel, turn on all the fuel pumps, turn off the packs, and we will start with the right engine. Right engine started.
Set parking brakes.
Now we can start the left engine.
Unlocking gear. Tow truck disconnected. Bypass main removed.
Next, turn our packs back to auto. Make sure all the lights here are gone. Turn on the electrical hydraulic pumps. And then come here and make sure everything is gone. And the only thing that's left is a parking brake. And that's it. That's how you do the cool and dark startup.
Right is clear.
Thank you. And that's how you do the cool and dark startup for the Captain Sim Boeing 757. At this point, I'm going to go ahead and cut a new track and resume my flight. Alright, so let's go ahead and do our taxi. Oh, got a vehicle right there. And while I'm taxiing, flaps 5, is that flaps 15? No, one more notch. There we go. While we're taxiing, I'm going to crash into this other plane. There we go. Alright. Come back here. There we go. While I'm taxiing, let's talk about 757s. Now, the Quality Wings 757, it looks a lot better. The cockpit textures look better than the Captain Sim. And let's see, it's not as detailed with regards to what all is simulated compared to this plane. However, in other words, from a simming perspective, the Captain Sim has a lot more animations and a lot more stuff that's simulated. But a lot of the stuff that's simulated isn't used in day-to-day operations of the 757. Not only that, but it looks better. The sound from the engines are a lot better. And the documentation that comes with the plane is a lot more thorough and a lot more thought through, a lot more polished. They give enough software and enough documentation for newbies to get up and running real quick on the 757, and at the same time they give enough details with regards to the flight model and operating the aircraft to keep experienced simmers happy. So it's a nice trade-off, and it's always on sale on FS Pilot Shop for only $25. And for that $25 you get a ton of stuff. You get good documentation, you get a ton of models of the 757 to play with. There's a crap ton of free liveries available for download, and you get installers for both FSX, Steam, or you can run the FSX installer for both Steam and Boxed, and you also get installers for FS9. Now, all those put together makes the Quality Wings 757 a much better deal than the Captain Sim 757. With regards to the flight model, I'm not a real pilot, so I can't speak to that. However, the Quality Wings team includes a certified Boeing 757 pilot as part of the team, and he has contributed a lot to the flight dynamics for that aircraft. So with regards to how the plane handles, I think Quality Wings have a lot more credibility than Captain Sim. I've been looking into 757 aircraft for X-Plane, and evidently the gold standard for X-Plane is flight factor 757. And I posted a question in the X-Plane group on Facebook, and it got a lot of responses, and most of the folks on that group, they didn't have much love for Captain Sim. So like I said, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the series in the Captain Sim 757, and I think I'm going to do all my remaining flights in the Quality Wings. I did a flight yesterday from Jamaica to St. Martin, Princess Juliana, you know, that landing right over the beach, in the Quality Wing 757, and that was pretty sweet. Had a lot of fun on that. So you know, I guess from a benchmark perspective, Captain Sim is not as good as I thought it was. Alright, getting ready to do our takeoff. Got a couple planes ahead of me here, so I'll continue the rest of my checklist once I am holding short. Alright, let's go ahead and hold short right here. Alright, I want to say this runway takes off into those mountains. So, let's go ahead and control period. Control period. Alright, let's go ahead and turn on our transponder. There we go. Go ahead and turn on the weather radar. Alright, what's our plan? We're gonna head on 190. Which way do I want to go once I take off? I want to go right. Okay. Alright. Let's go ahead and call the tower and get out of here.
Hold short, runway runway 19er right. US
Okay,
Air
there's a plane coming in right here.
757.
So let's go ahead and turn my landing lights on.
Cleared for takeoff. Runway 19er right. US Air 757.
121.8 for SkyWest 6250. Rotate. Positive rate, gear up. Flaps 1.
US Air 757. You are leaving my airspace. Frequency change approved.
Okay. Autopilot. Heading. Light level change. Okay. Alright. Go ahead and set this. There we go. Okay, we're clean. Flaps up, gear up. And that. At this point, I can go ahead and set lateral navigation. We're at 10,000 feet. Landing lights can come off. APU can come off. And we are climbing through. 12,000 feet. I can go ahead and increase speed to 270. And that's it. Got a good takeoff. And let's go ahead and check out the progress. We have what is that? 1,283 miles. So in this bird, that's about a good 3 hours. And that'll give me time to edit some other videos. Let's see here. Okay, I'm gonna make sure we're on the right course here before I walk away from my computer. plane should be banking to the right slightly to get on course. There we go. Alright, so we're in business. I'm going to go ahead and leave it at this for now, and I'll pick it up on the top of descent. Alright. Past my top of descent. Behind schedule here. Alright, let's go ahead and take her down. And while I'm doing that, I can go ahead and slow down. Vertical speed. Minus 2,600 feet per minute. Take it down to 10,000 feet, and we'll negotiate from there. I don't know, this jerkiness, when did it start up again? Let's get the ATIS for Dallas-Fort Worth. 123.775.
DFW airport information, X-ray 1923 Zulu, wind 195 at 14, visibility greater than 20 miles, sky condition.
Okay, ground's coming up on us. What's our speed? Throttle is retarded. We're getting up there in the speed. Alright, let's go ahead and slow down a little bit. Let's get a checklist. By the way, every time I get a study sim, I go ahead and I create my own checklist. I type it out, print it on thick stock, front and back, and then I laminate it. And comes in very handy. Alright, so before descent, obtain ATIS, noted. Altitude set. Vertical speed set. We're coming down. Auto throttle is required. FMC updated with star approach and runway. Can't do that. Play message 7.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we have now commenced our descent, would you please return to your seats and securely fasten your seat belts? Please ensure that your seat backs and tables are in the fully upright position for landing, and that your window blind is fully open. Passengers seated by the emergency exits are now requested to clear this area of any loose articles.
Alright. According to CDU, we are, holy crap, 30 miles away from Dallas. And what's our altitude? 19,000 feet. Well, that would be bad if we're coming straight in, but we're not coming straight in. We're going to be making a pass perpendicular to Dallas-Fort Worth, and that'll give us plenty of time to come down properly. 30 miles. That should give me plenty of time to get lined up. Alright, let's see if I can pick up Dallas-Fort Worth. We're within 30 miles. I should be able to get it. We're 15 miles. That's no bueno. Up there it is right there. Oh wow. Okay, back. Here's airport list. It's definitely in this list now. Farther away from you. Has to be. The airport's right in front of me. Why is it not showing up? Jesus Christ, there it is. Full stop landing. Alright.
DFW Tower, US Air 757 is 13 miles northwest with X-ray to land.
Air 757, DFW Tower, enter right, base, runway 18 right, altimeter
18 right.
3019er.
Oh man. Okay, what's my altitude? 10,000 feet. Let's go ahead and take it down to 9,000 or 8,500. Vertical speed. There we go. What's my forward speed? There we go. Alright, now here comes the tricky part. Legs. Alright. 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 Execute. EFIS. Turn these on. Okay. Fuel. Alright. Where is the freaking airport? Oops, I can't do that. Next page. Alright. Clear. Step. There we go. Okay. Okay. DFW. Alright, what are we doing here? Johann, the T. Alright. Execute. Alright, what's the current position? There we go. Alright. That. Slow down some more. Now to be at Ickle, I need to be at 4,000 feet. Alright, so let's go ahead and get down. We're in business. Okay, next thing I need to do is go to the CDU, get in its reference, approach, these are my approach speeds. 20 degrees flaps is 131, 25, 122, 30, 120. Alright. Oh, we're still going too fast. Let's come up. There we go. Alright. Overhead. Let's go ahead and turn on the APU.
Runway 18 right.
And landing lights. Approach, set, flaps, auto brake. Alright, auto brake needs to be set at, oops, there we go. What's our speed? Still going too fast. What's our altitude? Coming down. Alright, and then the ILS frequency for 18 right is 111.9, and I'm coming in on, was it 18? There. Alright. Altitude 4,000. Holding. Speed. It's coming down. That's fine. Approach speed set. Flaps. Flaps 1. I got the 50 cord for this one. Damn it. Flaps 2 on this is what? 220 max. That's my speed. Flaps 2. Auto brake set. ILS frequency and course tune is set. Alright. Alright, my approach speed is going to be 150. We're at 168. Let's go ahead and take it down to about 1. There we go. We'll go ahead and start the approach at Ickle. 4,000, then Johan 3,000. Alright. Johan 3,000. Go ahead and take it down to 3,000. Critical speed. There we go. Okay, I'm at flaps 15. Flaps 20. Good. Come right.
Runway 18 right. American 2952.
Traffic. Climb.
I'm not climbing. Flying itself all freaking day.
Clear of conflict.
Yeah. There we go.
Going to 135.975. American 2952.
Go. Whoa, Jesus. Okay, flaps. Gear down.
Cleared to land, runway 18 right.
Cleared to land, runway 18 right. US Air 757.
Don't sink. 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 Don't sink.
500.
Don't sink. 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 Don't sink.
Minimums.
Don't sink. Don't sink.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
US Air 757, exit runway when able.
Alright, so I got some good replays. And, okay, what are you complaining about? Okay. Few observations. The approach hold and the autopilot, the auto land was enabled. And it brought me in way too high, so I had to totally disconnect and bring it in manually. Which is fine. However, again, like the last time, it got a little bit wobbly on the landing. But this time, I did not flare too much.
Delta 563, request exit to the gate.
And I kept the throttle, but it still wanted to wobble on the landing. You'd have to pay close attention, but the wheels didn't come down together. That sounds like something unique to this plane. It's very annoying. Let's go ahead and get rid of that chatter.
DFW airport information, Charlie 19.
Okay, taxi straight to save my life. Alright. Okay, what? There we go. Okay, the taxi lines continue. Wow, DFW. I forgot how huge this airport is. I went into DFW once. It was a long time ago. I want to say it was when I first started my job at EDS back in 1990. I flew into DFW and then... what are you doing? Let's go around this asshole. I flew into DFW and then I think got to rent a car and drove our way to Plano. But as I recall, DFW, it's an enormous airport. It has its own interstate. Okay, it's not an interstate highway per se, but it has its own airport highway to get from one point to another. That place is enormous. It's the largest airport I've ever been at. Certainly not the busiest, but definitely the largest. Anyway, so this thing, the landing got wobbly on me. What is this thing doing? I didn't do that. And another thing, what am I doing? Why is the ATC coming up by itself? It has a mind of its own. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh. Let him go. Maybe the ATC was telling me to stop my taxiing. That's probably what it was. Nope. Let's continue the taxi. Alright, what was I saying? Let's go ahead and find a gate. And I think I'm going to go ahead and do a good park job this time. Alright, so let's go ahead and find an empty gate. If I can find
Delta
one.
563, hold position, caution the departing Bombardier.
Hold position, Delta 563.
That's not a gate. Not that it matters, really.
Delta 563, continue taxi.
Roger, Delta 563.
There we go. And I should do it right there. Set. Alright, a little bit more. There we go. Stop. There.
EFW ground, American 2832.
And there we go. That's a good enough park job.
2832, taxi to gate Bravo 36. Evacuate Quebec 4, Quebec 0.
Alright.
Yankee Hotel, Yankee.
After landing, spoilers up, flaps up, weather radar. I don't want to be cooking people with the weather radar on, so let's go ahead and turn that off.
Hotel, Yankee. American 2832.
Transponder. I don't want to fry people with the transponder. Let's go ahead and turn that off. Play message 9. Top row from left. Which one is it? Top row, 4th from left.
Hello again, ladies and gentlemen. Captain from the flight deck. Just a few minutes before we arrive on stand, I would ask please that you remain in your
We already
seats
arrived.
with your
I'm playing this
seatbelts
late.
fastened.
Landing
You
lights.
come to the gate and the
needs to
aircraft
be
comes
off.
to a complete stop for your own safety and comfort. It's been our pleasure having you on board today, and we look forward to seeing you
APU on,
very soon.
GSS taxi, whatever. Alright. Now we can go ahead with the power down. First thing we gotta do is kill our engines. Fasten seatbelt. No smoking. We'll leave the APU and packs on so people don't burn up while they're deplaning. Turn off our gyros. Those off. Turn off all the hydraulics.
DFW ground, American 2.
We'll leave all of that the way it is. APU will leave on. We'll go ahead and turn off all my lights.
Foxtrot, Whiskey, Juliet, Golf. DFW ground, Delta 661 with Delta, ready to taxi IFR. Delta 66.
Turn that off. Go ahead and turn off the window heat. Turn off the ignitions. Fuel pumps all off. Oh, that's good. Turn that off. Idle. And flaps up. And I want to say that's it. So all I gotta do is go back over to the overhead and then kill the APU. And last but not least, battery master off. Alright, that was not a bad flight. That was not a bad flight. Lessons learned. Once I took off and I was in my cruise climb, I figured I could go ahead and just set the auto throttle to whatever speed I needed it to be right after the climb got done, and it was at cruise. That was a bad idea. So I needed to be there to make sure the transition from cruise climb to cruise was good. Once I did that, I was able to leave the computer for the next 3 hours and the plane flew itself. Came back on the descent. What was very annoying was, as you saw, I was descending. The airport was right in front of me and it wasn't coming up. The tower wasn't coming up. I need the tower so that I can get the runway assignment, so I can get the waypoints, so I can punch it in to the the flight management computer so that I can fly the approach and the land. Otherwise, I'd have to fly it manually, which is very difficult to do in this plane. So, you know, that aside, this was a good flight. Everything worked out pretty good. Can't complain. I am at Dallas-Fort Worth. Let's check my thing here. And the last flight, I want to say, is to Miami. Let's double check here. I'm pretty sure the last flight I have is from, yep, here it is, DFW to MIA. And that's going to be my last flight in the Captain Sim 757. All future 757 flights will be in the Quality Wings 757, which is a much better product overall. Much better value for the money. So that is my official recommendation. If you want a 757 for FSX, go with Quality Wings. In the meantime, I'm making my way through with Captain Sim. Anyway, that's all. Flightsimguy here. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you next time.